to the Spiritual Reality Show. Nice to see you again,
Hello,
Janet.
Rita. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And how was Thanksgiving? You're in the States. Tell me, how
Yeah,
was it?
Thanksgiving was very fun. We went to friends. We had a friend's Thanksgiving, and it was just really, really fun. And her daughter's in-laws are Greek from Greece, and they don't speak a lot of English, so we got to speak through Google Speak. And it
Oh,
was really actually very interesting, because they've only been here a couple of years, so they're still, acclimating, and but they're working and everything. But it's so exciting to connect that way, and you could talk a lot on Google Speak. It's amazing. You can have a real conversation. So we
wow.
really connected, where we
I
got to
love
start showing each
technology.
other.
Will you do me a
Yes,
favor, Janet? I know we're live, but would you do me a favor and turn off your email? It's making noise
I know.
and it's taking up bandwidth. So we want to
Is
make
it?
sure
I'm
you
trying
look
to
beautiful
figure
on
out how
camera.
to. All right, let me get that.
So while you're doing that, I'm going
Come
to
on.
check in and see if there's anybody who wants to say hi in the chat. So we'll just
Yeah,
have a little look and see
got it.
how everything is going. I don't know if it's I can't get, let's see. Yep. Okay, so well, everything is working. Good, good. Just a
All
double
right, I
check,
hope it
Janet.
helps. I just shut it off. I hope it worked. I
Yeah.
did. I know, I figured out how to do it. Yeah, you know me. I'm not the techie one. You are the techie one. So
Okay,
I think I did
so
it right.
I wanted to start today by pulling a card, and then I know you always pull a card, Janet, but if you don't mind, I would love to
No,
share
it's
my card.
fun.
Yeah,
Excellent.
because
Have you
it's
pulled
kind of
one?
special because my 15-year-old daughter, she actually came to me and said she wanted a new Oracle deck for Christmas. And
Mm,
so I think it's very special, and you need to pick a deck that really resonates with you and your calling. And so I actually showed her a couple of decks, and she already had something in mind. And when she saw this one, which is there we go, Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle cards, she just said, "That's the one, mommy. That's the one I want." So I thought, okay, she was so firm on that. And I said, okay, I'm going to get one for myself. So she doesn't know that I've gotten this. So hopefully she's not watching this.
so you
So
both have a deck. Oh, that's so
yes,
fun.
so I bought one for me and one for her. There's something, I have a book in her. That's my cup of tea. So
Yes. Yeah.
I pulled a card and I
Perfect.
set the intention for all of us. And I love what we got. So let me share that. So we pulled this card, align. Let's see. It's my turn to kind of try to figure this one out. Let's see. There we
Yep.
go. Align
Great.
your
Right in
life.
the middle. You're perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what is not
It's a
aligned
little
or
hard to see,
needs to
but yeah.
change? So, I'm going to read what it says, okay? So, what in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be, but there comes a time when it is harder to hold on to this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we have changed and aligned life to that way of being. If you pull this card, you are being called to let go of who you once were or the things that you once defined yourself by, the job, the relationship, and the mask you were, and to embrace who you truly are now, to courageously step into that person that you came here to be in full authenticity, to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it is time to reassess and bring all you truly are today. Work your light inquiry. So, this is what you can ask yourself: what in your life is not aligned or needs to change? Your thoughts, Janet?
Yeah, I mean, it's so perfect because that's what we're all doing right now. I mean, I think that was the whole crux of what this year was about, is to let go of the old us and to embrace this new being. Like that's why we're supposed to do this heavy spiritual work this year, really getting into the shadows and looking at ourselves and all the old beliefs, and that is a perfect, year's work was about. Although next year is also going to be another spiritual dive in another way, because this year was a universal year of six, which was all about connecting to our own spiritual sovereignty. And next year is a year of the seven, and the seven is all about um, let's see, I have it right here. I was trying to understand it all because it's new. It's still about spiritual growth and evolution, but it's also bridging 2022's nurturing relationships, which we focused on our time of reflection and inner focus. And now it's about a collective pause where we are prepared for a massive reset. And the energy of seven, which is 2023, beckons us to go inward again, quiet down, slow down, and sit with ourselves to study, analyze, ask questions, peel our personal onions, which we've heard many, many times, as we contemplate the bigger questions. The deep shadows rise to surface, both collectively and individually. So it has a lot to do with both spiritual and scientific, tapping into our intuition, but then there's a drive to research, find and analyze data, and quantify knowledge and information. And financial gain is not the core of Universal 7 year. It is not the business as usual, and it's putting our focus on money will be making it harder for us in 2023. So after that, in 2024, there's going to be a big 3 year push of global transition and transformation. And then after that's going to be the Universal 8, where money and power take a front seat. So next year's like a pause, move in, still do some more of that work, because this is the time we have to release this stuff. And then the 8 year comes in, we're going to get into major global transitions. All the things we've been hearing about may come to fruition in one way or another. We're going to hearing different ways. And then also your own personal financial gain and abundance. So it's the economic, it's the global picture and the personal, the micro, the macro to the micro. So the 7 year next year makes us ready to make us wise and spiritually mature decisions. And that was also part of this year too. So it's just a fine line where next year's a little bit more global. We're going to have more things come out, but we also have to continue doing that work. So I thought that was really interesting because,
Yeah, we
for
have to
me
like
this
keep.
year, I did a lot of spiritual retreat for myself. I called this year my spiritual retreat year, where they're saying next year.
Yeah, I think this
What is it?
the card we pulled today, Align Your Life, that's been my whole journey through 2022. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do with my gifts, my resources? Where am I going? What is my soul calling
Mm-hmm.
to do? I know that as spiritual human beings having a human experience, we will always be aligning to life. We will always adapt and evolve and grow. So it's an evolution of, the human journey, but still finding that peace that you just mentioned, that finding peace within yourself, I think is key for next year, when if we're all been working on aligning our energies in our four bodies and opening up us, for more guidance, and to allow ourselves to be free as we are moving into 2023. I think the peacefulness of and that stillness of knowing who we are and the alignment of that will really help us create, a beautiful 2023, if you are willing to be in that stillness, if you're willing to find that peace, and if you're willing to do the job and to listen and not run and not stress and not, just settle in and allow that external energy to be pushed aside. Just release it, let it go, it's not yours, and just find that stillness. And I think that's what's in what you just said, for that peacefulness, because I think that abundance comes when you find that stillness, when you are walking your path, when you do it with peaceful footsteps. At least that's how I feel when I'm aligned and I'm creating from that space of unconditional love. I don't know what you think
Yeah.
of that, Janet.
Interesting. Well, for me, I was thinking about it saying, well, this year you've actually been doing all that I said again for year 7. And I was just in a total space of stillness this year, just a lot of stillness. And I really didn't push myself, which in a lot of ways that was some of the energy this year to, try to, like you said, align with what you want to do. But it wasn't coming. And I'm a projector in human design, and you have to be invited in as a projector. And so I can't push my way into things. It has to just evolve naturally. So for me, trying to push my way into things or thinking I need to do something because, I do need to take action to a point, but if I'm not feeling it internally, which I haven't been this year, except for doing this with you, which has been really a gift, um, I just sort of started to slow down to a point where I was, doing pleasant things like reading books and, connecting a little more with friends. I mean, my husband retired, but now he's gone back to work again for a short time. So it's like the house is quieted down again. So it's kind of nice to have a quiet house for a little bit again. And so I've done a little more stillness because it's such a quiet house, which I can embrace that too. But so it's different. It's different for me. Next year is it'll be interesting to see what evolves for me next year because it's deep diving is what I've been doing all year, but I know there's more. So I guess I'm still meant to keep going more. And I highly recommend it for everyone because I know you've been doing it, but you've also been really working to, you've done a lot of fantastic creative things this year.
I think that's
And
so important that you said that, Janet. I appreciate you saying that because we're so different. Like every soul's journey is different, different resources, how we're put together. And to me, I find stillness if I'm moving on my path. That's why I always
uh
think of myself being soul, energy, and motion. So it's not like I'm pushing, but I need to be in motion to figure it. I have to try that path. I have to try that to see how that feels and how that resonates with my soul because I have that strong creative resource within myself. And so when I
hmm
do that, that's when I find stillness because then I can retreat and I go in and I listen and I tune and I find out if this is giving me and what it's giving me and how I feel because you are moving with your vibration of your emotions. And so trying to figure out, is this, where is it coming from? Is this coming from my soul? What's the intention behind this emotion? How does it, resonate with not only me but with my family? Because of course you think of the what would you call it, the organic way of creation. Like you do have
hmm
you
hmm
think about yourself, but you have to think of your family. I can't just leave them and say I'm leaving for 1 month, I'm going to Bali, I have to find myself. That's not a realistic. And so you have to bring them
Not
in.
when you have a family.
Yeah, even
Yes.
though I would love to do that one day, and I will one day, but not until the kids are out of the house, I guess. But yeah, so it's so good you said that because stillness for me is being in motion, but in my own rhythm. Not so the hardest part for me as a blueprinter and then as a creator, I'm a blueprint designer, if that makes sense. And if I see myself, if I'm not doing or I'm doing the wrong things, I feel stressed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's negative
Yes.
stress. And
Yes.
as I go in, I feel and connect with what makes my heart bubble with joy. It's that
hmm
flow. And so I have to try both because that's my journey. And also, I'm an 8 in numerology. So it's very much, the infinity, the light and the darkness. So I have to always try that. That will always play a part in my journey.
Yes. Well, I don't know if that's your life path number, but if it's your life path number, that's a leadership number. That is a leadership number, 8. And for me, I'm a 6. I'm the harmonizer. I am one, who really puts I put family first. Not that you don't, I do, but this is like really big for me. Family's like really, really big. And it's like, because I'm a Cancer as well, so that is also connected to the major divine mother nurturing that I am. And so for me, I can help inspire people, and I help nurture people to move on to their path where I don't know, mine is more like, I think I'm more in the background, not the front player all the time, more the behind, what's the word? Support, maybe the support. But it's interesting to learn about yourself. Plus, I'm in a different time of my life. My kids are all grown up. Now I have grandchildren, so I can get that stillness. And when I had children, there was no stillness. It was constant. I mean, the fact that you can get that in your life is fantastic. I mean, I would create it once I got on my spiritual path, but I wasn't doing anything like this. And I was in healing school, and then I was doing my healing work, and I was doing holistic fairs. So I was doing a lot of stuff. It was pretty busy. So between balancing that part of my life and balancing out life with family, that was so all encompassing, which for you is what you're doing right now. And so I have the quieter part now because I can just sort of concentrate on me, which is kind of a gift because I always gave it away to everyone else, even as a young child living at home in my own home growing up. I gave it all away. So I'm finally having time for Janet, which is a whole different, interesting perspective, and it feels good, but it feels different. It's like, I know to you, Janet, all the Janets, the young Janet, the middle Janet, the midlife Janet, and the wisdom crone Janet that you are now in. And so, all the ways you've grown, just look at the ways you've grown and be grateful and be humble and enjoy. Enjoy because so much more is there to unfold for all of you, for you, and for all those listening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's beautiful. So beautiful. Breathing in and bringing these two spirits together through oneness and into our hearts. And thank you so much, Janet, for being vulnerable and doing this with us and for
Thank
us.
you. Thank you for helping me to heal this. And oh my, that was beautiful. Thank you for that. That was a beautiful way to really bring it to closure and to understand what I was meant to receive and learn. So thank you so much, Vibeke. That was really beautiful.
I feel really
Appreciate it.
um, by your words, and I can resonate with my own life and coming together in different relationships. And I think what we did today, I know I do that for myself when I feel um, out of alignment and I need to
Mm,
bring myself back. I do use, I talk to the spirit within me and I talk to the soul, the spirit of my friend or the person or the situation, whatever energies that is resonating with me in that moment, and I bring it together in oneness. But before I can do that and bring it in, I need to forgive and learn and see. And you just so perfectly, beautifully just allowed yourself to show how you do it. And I know it's vulnerable, and I just appreciate you doing it for everyone to watch.
thank you.
Mm.
And it's okay to be vulnerable now. I've realized that because I was always very guarded growing up because it was not safe to be vulnerable. Now it's safe in so many ways when you learn from all of this. It's just amazing, and it's very it's just freeing. It's very freeing.
Mm. Wow, this
Hmm.
is what we needed. This is the first card, and now we're ready for the card number two, the dreamer state. Now we can move into the new year, like you mentioned, finding with that stillness needed and to open ourselves up to be receiving. So that was beautiful. And I just want to, before we end this session today, Janet, just mention that at the end of this, actually on Thursday, December 29th, am I right? Yeah, 29th or 28th. It's a Thursday. That's when we're having Dr. Henning Hailey, the astrologer. He's coming
Mm-hmm.
to talk about 2023. So I just hope
Mm.
that anybody watching or watching this after the recording, then the replays, then make sure you show up and join us. And he will definitely answer questions for the new year. So,
Yes, it's
but
very
we still
exciting.
have the
And
holiday season in front of us. I just wanted to mention that since we were talking about 2023 and the energies.
mm, and that's going to be on the 29th of December. I just looked at the calendar, and that's perfect because it'll be just a few days before the new year opens, and we will be moving into the solstice, which
Mhm.
is a huge, winter solstice. It's huge. So, yeah, and next Thursday we're not going to be live. We're going to be away this next week, so we're just going to leave it as an open week, and the following week we'll be back on the 15th.
Mhm.
We'll be back on the 20th.
9th. So we've
So
got
the
three shows.
15th will be here.
Yeah. So we'll
Yep.
we'll have the 15th and then we have the 29th.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So I just want to let you know we're shifting our schedule a little now, and next year we're shifting again, but it's all in alignment with what's meant to come forth for
And we
all of
got some
us.
exciting
And we're
news as
very
well, but we'll
excited.
have to wait for that until closer to the new year, right? We have to wait a little bit
Right.
to
Right.
share. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Janet,
All
and
right. Well,
thank
thank
you
you too,
for those
Vivica.
who's watching, and see you on the 15th, hopefully.
Yes, we will see you on the 15th.
Yes.
Everybody's be in peace. Be at peace today. All right. Take care. Bye.